The Kansas City Chiefs, long seen as one of the NFL's most dominant forces, are suddenly surrounded by uncertainty. News has emerged that has left fans stunned, analysts alarmed, and the entire league buzzing with disbelief. This is not a minor setback, but a revelation that threatens to change how the Chiefs are viewed this season. Supporters, accustomed to moments of brilliance, now confront a worrisome atmosphere that feels foreign to a team defined by success. What seemed unshakable now appears fragile, as speculation grows over whether the Chiefs can endure what lies ahead. Across Kansas City and beyond, conversations shift from excitement about championships to concern about survival. The tone around the franchise has changed dramatically, with an unease that feels almost unthinkable given their recent dominance. For a team that once thrived on energy, confidence, and unity, the sudden sense of vulnerability is striking. The Chiefs now stand at a crossroads, facing questions that extend far beyond their next game. The breaking news has shaken the foundation of belief in this dynasty. At the center of the storm lies a combination of troubling factors that no one anticipated. Injuries to key players, uncharacteristic mistakes, and the weight of relentless expectations have converged into a moment of real concern. The Chiefs, who built their reputation on resilience, now seem entangled in complications that go deeper than the scoreboard. Each practice, each game, reveals subtle cracks in rhythm and coordination. Analysts suggest that the struggles are not merely physical but mental, as confidence wanes in ways seldom seen before. The Chiefs are not only battling opponents on the field, but also the heavy burden of their own legacy. The expectations of greatness weigh heavily, and even the smallest slip feels magnified under scrutiny. Supporters, once reassured by the entire team's composure, now see a franchise grappling with challenges that feel unsettling. The urgency of the moment cannot be ignored, as every misstep seems to add fuel to the growing storm of doubt. Patrick Mahomes, the cornerstone of the Chiefs dynasty, finds himself under a spotlight sharper than ever before. Known for his brilliance and unshakable poise, he now faces questions about whether he can carry the team through its most turbulent chapter. Every pass, every decision is dissected by analysts and fans, searching for signs of weakness or reassurance. While Mahomes has delivered countless heroic moments, the mounting pressure places him in unfamiliar territory. His leadership is being tested not just on the field, but in the locker room, where younger players look to him for guidance. Yet even a player of his caliber cannot shoulder every burden alone. The offensive struggles, protection breakdowns, and shifting morale magnify the responsibility resting on his shoulders. Supporters still believe in his extraordinary talent, but doubts linger about whether he can overcome circumstances that appear increasingly overwhelming. The scrutiny he now faces is not about ability, but about endurance, resilience, and the power to steady a shaken dynasty. Travis Kelce, the emotional leader and consistent performer of the Chiefs, is also facing immense pressure in this worrisome atmosphere. His partnership with Mahomes has defined Kansas City's success, but the recent turbulence places even greater weight on his role. Kelce is expected to deliver not only on the field with critical catches, but also off it with leadership that calms the team. However, even his trademark energy and resilience appear tested by the ongoing challenges. Rumors of fatigue, both physical and mental, spark concerns about whether he can maintain the intensity required. Fans view him as the symbol of passion, but passion alone may not be enough in this storm. His ability to stabilize teammates, keep focus, and inspire confidence could determine whether the Chiefs recover or continue to unravel. The burden on Kelce is heavier than ever, and his influence now extends beyond touchdowns. It touches the very core of the team's spirit. Andy Reid, one of the most respected coaches in NFL history, now confronts a challenge that tests his reputation as much as his strategy. Known for innovation and composure, Reid must guide his team through turbulence that feels less about schemes and more about psychology. His task is no longer simply designing plays, but restoring confidence in a shaken locker room. Every decision, from lineup choices to motivational words, carries immense weight. Analysts point out that Reid's calm leadership has always been a strength, But this moment requires more than calm. It demands decisive action, emotional clarity, and the ability to unite a team showing signs of strain. For a coach who has brought championships and pride to Kansas City, this test may be one of his greatest. His response could either reaffirm his legacy or expose vulnerabilities no one expected. The worrisome atmosphere surrounding the Chiefs now places Reid squarely in the spotlight as the figure who must steady the ship. Within the Chiefs' locker room, the atmosphere has shifted dramatically. The energy once filled with laughter, trust, and focus now carries tones of tension and unease. Players young and old feel the strain of heightened expectations colliding with unexpected setbacks. Whispers of frustration circulate, while the silence of disappointment lingers after tough games. Coaches attempt to hold the group together, but even the strongest bonds are being tested. Analysts warn that locker rooms can unravel quickly if confidence erodes, and the Chiefs are dangerously close to that point. Veterans push to reassure teammates, yet even they struggle against the weight of constant scrutiny. Unity, the cornerstone of past triumphs, feels fragile as emotions rise. The locker room is not fractured, but it is unsettled, and that distinction could prove pivotal. Whether this tension strengthens resolve or deepens the cracks will determine how the Chiefs' season unfolds. The true battle may not be on the field, but within the walls of their own headquarters. For Kansas City's passionate supporters, the news has created an atmosphere of fear and sadness. These are fans who have stood by the team through triumph and heartbreak, but the sudden uncertainty feels more unsettling than past struggles. Arrowhead Stadium, usually alive with unmatched energy, now hosts whispers of doubt amid the cheers. Families who have celebrated victories now question the future, sharing concerns that the team they adore might be entering dangerous territory. Social media reflects a fan base torn between loyalty and worry, debating whether this dynasty can withstand the storm. The Chiefs are more than just a team. They are a source of pride and identity for the community. That bond makes this downturn especially painful. Yet in the midst of fear, there remains hope. Fans continue to show up, their devotion clear, even as their hearts carry the weight of concern. The relationship between the Chiefs and their supporters remains powerful, though clouded by anxiety. Across the league, rivals are paying close attention to the Chiefs' struggles. Once considered nearly unbeatable, Kansas City now appears vulnerable, and opponents are eager to exploit that perception. Division rivals, long overshadowed by the Chiefs.
Dominance? See this as a rare opportunity to strike. Coaches adjust their strategies with renewed confidence, while players speak openly about facing a team that no longer feels untouchable. Analysts highlight how quickly momentum can shift in the NFL, where weakness, once revealed, can fuel rivals with determination. The Chiefs are not just fighting their own challenges, they are also battling the surge of opponents eager to dethrone them. This shift in perception intensifies the pressure, as every game becomes not only about victory but about defending pride. For a team used to intimidating others, the experience of being hunted adds another layer of complexity. The rivals' belief in opportunity only deepens the worrisome atmosphere surrounding the franchise. The media has seized on the Chiefs' struggles, amplifying every detail with dramatic headlines. Talk shows, news outlets, and online platforms dissect each play, each comment, and each decision with relentless focus. The narrative paints the situation as spiraling, with phrases like worrisome atmosphere dominating coverage. For players and coaches, the constant noise makes recovery even more difficult. Every mistake becomes a headline, and every rumor fuels speculation. Critics question leadership, strategies, and even the future of the franchise. Analysts debate whether this is a temporary stumble or the beginning of a significant decline. The media thrives on drama, and Kansas City's current troubles provide an endless storyline. While the spotlight has always followed the Chiefs, it has rarely carried such a negative tone. The intensity of the scrutiny magnifies internal challenges, leaving little room for quiet recovery. The media storm now mirrors the storm within, making the path to stability even more complex. The Kansas City Chiefs stand at a decisive crossroads. The breaking news that no one believed.